Sea of Thieves. Is it worth a pre-order, guys? Is it? No, it's not. Wait until the game's released. Read a few reviews, not just one, 2 or 3. Get a good cross-section of reviews. Don't rely on one person because it's all opinions. That's all reviews are, opinions. Alright? So there's some sound advice. Take it. Anyway, I've been playing the beta of this, the closed beta of this, because I pre-ordered it. What? Now I have to pre-order because I review games, that's what I do, so I don't have a choice because there's no way I'm going to get one given from the developers. There'll be no press copies given to my channel, I'm too honest. No, they'll give all the press copies to the lying sellouts who'll be saying, oh man, it's just fucking great, best game I've ever played, man. They're the people that get the press copies of AAA games. But luckily I've played this for a good while. I streamed a couple of streams of this as well, so I'm pretty up to spec with. I still can't aim for shit, but I'm in a good position to tell you what I think of it so far. Now, this isn't a full game, it's just the beta. A lot of things aren't in the game yet, so, you know, we'll just have to wait for them. But the main thing that is in the game is the gameplay. So, what's it like? Well, I'm disappointed. I mean, it's £50. That is big money. Big money, and I expect a lot of game for £50. And I didn't get a lot of game for £50. What I got was a pretty much bare bones experience here. Now, as I've said, it's just the beta. There's more stuff to come when the game releases in a couple of months. In fact, it's not even a couple of months, about 6 weeks before this comes out. So I don't know what the hell, what the. If you've played Black Wake, you're gonna be disappointed at this because the ships are tiny. It's like, it feels, I'll tell you what this feels like. It feels like playing pirates in the bath, whereas Black Wake feels like you're playing pirates on the high seas. You're first greeted with a screen that asks you what kind of ship you want. Do you want a 4-man ship, a 2-man ship, or a solo ship? It's 2018. 4-man, 2-man, 1-man. What? There should be galleons here with like 10 men crews on. You should be able to have fleets. You know, it should be bigger than this. It's kind of, well, this is just my opinion, obviously. I just think it's way too small. I mean, the ships themselves are really good. I love the whole art style of it. I think the cartooniness is fun on the game, and I love the way the ships handle, the way the ships have to be crewed. It's actually better than Black Wake in that sense, as far as the actual navigating in the ship. The wheel is so much better than Black Wake. And the sails. The sails is great in this because you can set it at half sail, quarter sail, and all the rest of it. However, you can set the angle of it as well. So you need a couple of people on the sails. You need a guy up the crow's nest as well. You need somebody down below at the map, keeping an eye on where you're going, and then you need your navigator and driver. That's one of the same person. And then you need a guy on the cannons as well. But again, the cannons, they're a bit of a joke as well because you kind of carry all the cannonballs in your pocket. You aim through the sight of the cannon, you fire your gun, then you press reload and it reloads the cannon, then you fire again. You can like fire them off like a 6-shooter, which is ridiculous. There's no like putting in powder, there's no then putting in the shot, then stoking it, then pushing the cannon forward like you do in Black Wake. It's all kind of all dumbed down, you know, and very disappointing really if you played Black Wake. So you do need, I think you need about 6 minimum on the ships. Even when we had 4 and you were doing more than one job at a time, and it does get very hectic when you're in a battle as well. So there is room to have more people on, but you can't, you can only have 4, so it kind of sucks. The actual combat, I found aiming the cannons very well, but I'm kind of trained for Black Wake, so I was kind of trying to fire it Black Wake style and I was just missing. I think I hit about every 2 out of 10 rounds would hit. But I haven't played it a lot. I've played about 8 hours, and you don't have a lot of combat. That's my other gripe about this game. You very rarely do you run into another ship. We found that in all the time that we were playing, what you do is you buy a treasure map. Well, you buy in a quest. You get a map with the quest. You sail to an island. The island's inhabited by AI skeletons, which you just 2-shot. You then follow some silly little ritual where you play an instrument at a certain point, walk 10 paces southeast from a certain point, and then you dig and you'll find a treasure chest. You dig up the treasure, put it on your boat, take it back to the guy who gave you the quest. So it's just a fetch quest essentially. Hand that in, he gives you money. With your money you can buy upgrades to your cosmeticness and some weapons with your money. and I think you can upgrade your boats later on as well, your cannons and stuff. So that's it. That's pretty much everything I've seen in this game. Now for £50 I want more than a shitload of boring fetch quests and the odd running into enemies. And the reason you don't run into many enemies is because the servers you're playing on, I've heard, are only 16 player. Now the maps aren't exactly huge, but you put 16 players on a half decent sized map, you're not going to run into them very often. When you do run into them, yes, the combat is funny. It is funny. We stole some guy's boat and then we crashed. It was quite funny. Me and my girlfriend were following these guys, and I don't think they knew, well, they didn't know we were there. And they were on this island, and so we stole their boat, essentially. And while we were both laughing at each other that we'd stole the boat, we crashed into each other, all at sea, and we fucking hit each other, didn't we? In a horrendous crash. And I was worried that we were going to lose both boats, so she came back to my boat and we bailed it out and fixed it. And then before we could steal their boat, it went down into Davy Jones's locker. So that was a bit of a shame. And that's the way this game is. It's very funny and comical when you're in the battles. It's not kind of a serious pirate game. It's more of a get in a boat with your mates and have a damn good laugh. And that's what we did in the stream, and that's what I've been doing in this game. It's not really a brilliant game. It's just a good laugh. That's what it is. And yes, I am looking forward to the full release. I'm looking forward to see what else comes into this game, because it is a funny game. You can fire yourself out of cannons, for example. You can get pissed as a fart in the boozer with you, and on your boat as well, just by drinking loads of grog. Then you vomit on each other's face and stuff like that. Things like that should be in games because it's funny. And it's great laugh, and I have had fun in this game. I'm not going to lie and say I haven't had fun in this game. I have. I'm just warning you that there's not a lot to this game, and you'll get bored of it quite quick. And there is no way on God's earth is this worth £50 pre-order. It's just not. There's not enough game here for pre-order of £50. It runs well. It looks fine. I'm running at 1070, and the music's great. The graphics run fine. I'm not having any huge frame drops. I did get some lag spikes, mind. So I don't know what kind of servers they're running, but I did get a few. Not a lot of lag spikes, but enough that when I was running around an island, I'd suddenly teleport a few yards, you know. So there was a bit of that going on, but overall I was running a solid 60 frames a second, and it was okay. I don't like the FOV. You can turn it up to 90, but it still feels a bit short. You can rebind all your controls. It does have full controller support, as you'd expect with a console game, and it is a console game, let's be honest. I just found it very shallow, but we're going to wait until the full version is out. That's why I'm not rating it worth a buy or not yet. I don't think anything's worth pre-ordering, to be fair, but with all the lies that's going around, with all the hype and all the YouTubers that have been bought, it's not worth believing these people. It's just not. Take it from me, yes, it's fun in the battles. Yes, you'll have a good laugh with your mates. It's certainly not a single player game. Don't even bother single player. We just annihilated this guy who was on his own. You just can't run a boat on your own very well, so forget single player. If you haven't got friends to come into, then you're in trouble with this game. You really, really are. 4 player, yeah, it's fun, but again, not a lot to do. Just loads of fetch quests, the odd combat. There's big sea monsters, there's krakens, which I haven't come across. There's plenty of sharks. If you dilly-dally in the water long enough, you'll come across sharks. That I guarantee. But overall, I'm a bit disappointed. This is £50, and it needs a shit ton of more depth. A lot more variety of missions for me. A lot more variety of ships. It needs bigger crews, bigger maps. It needs to be bigger and better than this to justify a £50 price tag. So there you go, guys. I'll be giving this a full review when it comes out in March, but so far it just didn't live up to the hype. But hey, whatever does.